Hello, everyone. Happy to be back. Right now, we have with us another young Indian, Para Mahavidya. Let's listen to her. Over to you, Para.
Thank you, sir. Hi, everyone. Good evening, good morning. I would like to start by thanking you, sir. It's a pleasure and honor, to be speaking in this platform. As Sir mentioned earlier, my name is Para Mahavidya, and I'm delighted to be here today to share a bit about my journey and experiences that has been so far in this sector. I have always been someone who loves talking and sharing stories. So I'm particularly quite excited about this platform because it allows me to, interact and connect with like-minded professionals and students and everyone. Throughout my career, I have had the opportunity to work in diverse roles and industries, and these experiences have just not honed my professional skills, but have also provided me with many invaluable insights into development sector particularly. And one of my most rewarding aspects, if I start talking about it, has been interacting with various stakeholders from different locations and backgrounds. And what this has taught me is, I feel, the most important aspect, and that is human perspectives and behavior, which has been quite instrumental in my career so far. Today, I'm excited to share some of these experiences with you, sir, and all of our viewers. And I believe this might offer some inspiration or some additions to their journeys in their lives. So, before we begin, a little bit of background about myself. I come from Bhubaneswar, Odisha, and my journey started with opting to pursue economics as my higher education. I completed my undergraduate in economics from Odisha in BJB College, and post this, I started pursuing my master's from Symbiosis University in Pune, and I graduated in the year 2020, and this was the COVID year. So the journey was definitely not easy, as anyone would say. It was full of ups and downs, and
Right.
during this time there was a lot of dilemma going on. And one of the major dilemmas that I, along with multiple other of my batchmates, underwent is what I want to speak about today. Particularly, I want to talk about this topic with a hope and aspiration that it supports some of the students today to navigate in their careers.
Okay.
And after working, for 3 years in this sector, I have realized that it's all about the experiences and the learnings that we take away to our home. Back when I was in college, all of our professors, all of the guest lectures that we attended, all of them said, but as they rightly say, like, till you don't experience it yourself, you don't realize it. So the dilemma that I mentioned earlier was about development studies and development economics, if we can call it that way. So all of us started thinking, hearing about development studies, like we would only be working into academia sector. We would not be using our analytical bent of mind. It would just be, heavy qualitative materials that we study. The only option would be, working with a research organization or only do a research segments. But a simple and short answer that I've figured out now is, all of these questions, the answer is no. Like, it's not like development economics doesn't like let you go big, or doesn't push you to broaden your horizon, or just restricts you to work in one particular domain. It, I believe, has a very own ecosystem, if I can call it ecosystem of its own, with multiple opportunities today.
Mm.
And what we are going to discuss today is about the role and importance of development studies or economics. To start with, I feel development is a very dynamic topic in today's world. It ranges from multiple disciples. I'm just focusing on economics because I probably come from that background, but it has multiple range of topics, starting from sociology, environmental
Mm.
studies, even politics, and a lot more. The major thing, I feel, it's a field that is driven by a desire, to make a positive impact on our society, to maybe address global challenges, or to promote like sustainable development. And the first step towards being a professional or being a student in this sector is understanding our inner passion. Like, that is where everything starts from. So something that I want to recommend everyone, and I did myself to find this out when I started my journey, is to gain experience in this area. And when I say experience, it doesn't need to have to go out and to work with big corporates or MNCs. It's not going to work out that way. We should pick up whatever comes our way. Like, it could be a simple volunteering opportunity or a small internship. Through this, what will happen is we get to understand and figure out what we are exactly looking for in this sector. Like, if we actually belong to this sector, or do we have a purpose, or do we have an intent inside on what am I going to do next in this sector. Like I'll just share a little bit of personal experience. Like, even today, after working for almost 3 years now, as I said, I love doing volunteering work. So I do a multiple projects with community development projects, and these kind of experiences teach me every time a new story and a new lesson from the community. And it's interesting to see like how all these things we have never learned through our textbooks, right? All of these communities, they come from varied backgrounds, they have different cultures, their own unique challenges and strengths. And by engaging with this diverse groups, I have gained a lot broader understanding and perspective about like the richness of human experiences. I would like to word it that way. And one of the most rewarding aspects of volunteering for me has been witnessing direct impact. It could be something as simple as putting up a water pump in a school where children get access to like fresh water in an area where no one had probably thought of before. Like, it's that it feels like the instant outcome. You can see it, like your effort is actually making a difference in someone else's life. So it definitely brings out a positive impact. And coming down to one of a different topic in development sector, which we find every day in today's newspaper or headlines, is like in the climate crisis. Today we are in a position where it's not has just not been important but has become imperative. Like, the impact of climate changes has gone beyond like rising temperatures, extreme weather conditions, and biodiversity loss. And this is something that is happening globally now, and it has become a threat to health and livelihood of millions and millions of us. And to everyone who thinks that there is no opportunity, I believe as students of development studies, one stands to make a significant contribution by addressing all this crisis. With their passion to study development, they can do multiple things in this area. They could start writing development studies, like conducting research on climate change impacts. Like, they could one could frame like mitigation strategies, talk about the various ways of adaptation, like without doing particular activity, because that is against climate crisis or the need of the hour. What can be the replacements, like researching on that background. Second could be they could promote and implement sustainable practices, such as it could be a domestic level also, reducing waste, like segregating our waste, or supporting sustainable agriculture. The students could engage with local communities, in fact, to develop and implement climate resilience towards projects, and how they can work with NGOs, governments, and local bodies to bring about a positive change. And it's not just like limited to students and youth, they can also cater to the society by raising awareness. If we are aware today what has to be done, then only I can go into the society and tell them like, this is the way, this is how it's done. And I feel it'll not just bring a positive impact to their careers, but we are helping our society in a way to shape up and drawing it from something that has become a need of an hour right now. So development, I feel, is more than a profession. Like, it's a calling that demands passion, dedication, and a deep sense of responsibility. And also with this, I believe it's about striving in the world, where every individual has the opportunity to thrive, where communities are resilient, and where sustainable development practices ensure well-being of our future generations, not just us. Like, this topic is very, very close to my heart because it embodies the values and aspirations that drives me to work in this sector. And
Mm-hmm.
always like making a small difference also. Like, if today I segregate the waste in my house, I believe I have done a bit towards my society, and tomorrow I can go ahead and create that awareness in my society members, within my society members, to just start with. It could be as small as that, but that does make a difference. And I really want to stay committed in this journey and continue in this journey in a manner that is inclusive, sustainable, and transformative. And I believe this sector, like the whole development space and the whole development sector, is increasingly becoming interconnected and more complex day by day. And understanding the principles and dynamics of this sector has become very important. And this will only come through like our theory knowledge that comes through multiple courses that people should start opting for. And young students, I believe, stand to benefit greatly from this field, as it not just equips them with knowledge and skills, but it allows them to implement them to address most of the pressing global challenges.
Okay.
uh, yeah, so largely this was the crux of what I wanted to say. But like I would like to add one or two more lines before I end it, sir. And it would be, it's not something that has been with me after I studied economics, but right from my journey started, I always wanted to do something that gave back to the society. Like I had that intention in my mind, but when also I started studying or pursuing my economics, it was very, very confusing for me, because like most of us, I did not know where I was headed to, right? Like
Mm.
I was not sure after this 2 years, what am I going to do? Like what is going to be my job area? Or is it just going to be research? Or is it just going to be a 9 to 5 desk job? Because I really had no idea, like how am I going to shape up my future with this.
Mm.
But I wanted
Mm.
to pick this topic up so that students get to know, like it's just not limited to getting a job, sitting there doing 9 to 5 and going back home, but we can do a lot more beyond this together, clubbing it within 9 to 5 or beyond the 5 to 9, as they call it these days. So yeah, I would
Yeah.
like to really encourage students and young professionals to do their bit towards their society. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And normally I would have talked to you about what I'm going to say after the recording, but hearing what you are saying, I want to share it with you now. And I'll
Yeah,
be brief and we can talk about it later. But
sure, sir.
uh, after in 2047, I wrote in 3 years ago, I wrote a book, India 2047. In it was a recommendation that we should develop small towns, create
Yeah,
jobs there and increase incomes so that we have regional equitable development and people don't have to go from village to live in slums. Okay.
yeah.
So uh, in the last 3 years, I decided that I'm not a very practical guy. I'm a thinker. That I'll form a group of people who will implement this idea. And we picked 3 states. They are not India's A states. They are India's B states: West Bengal,
Okay.
Odisha, and Rajasthan. And
Okay.
in each of those states, we will pick 2 or 3 small towns to begin with,
Hmm.
and we define them as a town with a population of 1 lakh or so in the 2011 census, and some other characteristics like not too far from a railway station or a
Hmm.
good road, some college, human capital and physical
Yeah.
capital, and some economic activity, though not booming. And in these years, and now we are in the process of forming a non-profit company.
Hmm.
The name is already registered. It's called
Okay.
Ecotech Innovators Lift Up.
Okay.
Ecotech means technology, economy, and ecology. And
Yeah.
innovators is obvious. So we are
Yeah.
hoping to bring fresh ideas and catalyze growth in these small towns. We are going to be networked, and we are hoping to get young people to be our supporters. We are not saying do this or do that. Instead, we are
Okay.
flipping the issue and saying, this is what we are doing. What can you do to help us?
Hmm. Hmm.
So we are not defining jobs. That is separate. Other than that, we'll have a network of supporters.
Yeah.
So the first town we have focused on is in West Bengal. It's in Birbhum district. It's called Shuri.
Yeah.
And in Odisha, it will be Raigada, where we have had 4 visits to Shuri, and now we will make a visit to Raigada this
Okay.
year, and
Hmm. Hmm.
Chittorgarh in Rajasthan also this
Okay.
year.
Hmm.
And for Shuri, we have a 6-point plan to create jobs and increase incomes. And I am trying to enroll young people, and many have said, yes, sir, we'll help you. So since you are so keen to give back, and there are a lot of people perhaps in Odisha watching you. So I thought I'll share this news here, and we have already got quite a bit of, what should I say, people in Raigada, people in Bhubaneswar, and people
Yeah.
outside who will
Okay.
support us in this effort. Uh, and we have also found the money. So money is not an issue for us. We are going to work with the government, but not rely on the government.
Understood.
Okay. So we will do our own work, but it will be
Mm-hmm.
consistent with what the government is trying to do. Okay.
Okay.
And so I pose this to you, as I hope you will say, yes, sir, I'll help you.
Definitely, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
In fact, I'm glad, like, I was very happy when you invited me for this call, but now the happiness has gone to a next level, if I can call it. I keep looking out for such opportunities where I can give back, and especially to the state I come from. So, this is
Yeah.
definitely a happy piece of information.
Yeah. And the second and third towns are Bhadrak and Bolangir. So we have
Okay.
three
Yeah.
towns in different parts. As you know, they are in different parts of Odisha.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yeah.
we hope to be in 7 to 10 towns in 3 years. And
Hmm.
my dream is to change the face of small town in India.
Absolutely.
Just
Yeah.
change it so that it becomes a place where people say, why the hell am I going to live in a slum in some large city when I can have an energy efficient, comfortable home
Exactly.
and there is no traffic problem? Why?
Yeah.
Because ecotech has traffic experts, ecotech has energy experts, ecotech will have a network of all types of experts, actually already has. And
Okay.
uh, also has young people full of energy and enthusiasm. How to tap it, we will see when the work starts. Okay,
Yeah.
what can you? And by the way, since we are talking about this, one of my concerns was, how am I going to get correct news about what's happening in these small towns? And
Yeah.
people said you're going to have to appoint somebody as your local champion. And I never liked the idea. And I wanted to have an honest, credible source of information. And I thought, why don't I find a way to get retired army people to be my eyes and ears?
Yeah.
Of course, I'm from a civilian family and have no connections with anybody in the armed forces, but
Hmm.
I did get one retired lieutenant general to come on my Vidped, and he agreed with me. And since then, I've talked to two brigadiers, retired, and one colonel, and
Yeah.
the plan is now on. So the retired army people living, say, in Raigada,
Hmm.
they will be the eyes and ears, and they will report to maybe a brigadier or colonel in Bhubaneswar. Sir, यहाँ कुछ
Yeah.
गड़बड़ हो रहा है. So
Yes.
then the brigadier or colonel will report to us, right? And
Yeah.
we can
Yeah.
pay the people working in those towns so that we
Hmm.
will have. In fact, one of the brigadiers said to me, Subodh, in 2014, I wrote to the prime minister that why don't you use the retired army people as a force for good? And now he
Hmm.
have replied to me.
Okay.
And they have a central database. They can tell you in 5 minutes who are the retired army people living in Raigad.
Yeah.
It's organized by India, state,
Hmm.
and district.
Okay.
So they just type the name of the district, out come the names. They say, we will choose for you once you set up the system with us, we will choose
Yeah.
the people who will do the work. So I'm
Hmm.
really very excited about it. And I thought time has come to share it with the public and with
Yeah.
you, especially since you are so excited. So this is the plan. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
whether you are in Odisha or in Canberra or in Japan or in Washington, D.C. If you are a
Yeah.
supporter, you are a supporter,
Yes.
right? So we will tap
100%.
into your energy and your enthusiasm. How? I'm not a guy who knows a roadmap. You have to dream.
Okay.
Once you have a
Yeah.
dream, then the
You're
practical,
halfway there. Yeah.
not halfway there, you are done. I'm done.
Yeah.
The practical people will
Yeah.
make it happen, and I don't interfere in what the practical people do.
Yeah.
They will
Yeah.
make it happen. Okay.
Yes.
Just have to give them the dream. If they buy
Yes.
the dream, they will do it. So this is the dream I am putting to you, and hope, Odisha is actually a very attractive state because it used to be
Yes.
very poor and it's not so poor anymore. And the government is doing quite well there. It's a B state, but it can become A state. Maybe take 10 years, maybe take 15 years, but it has the
Yes.
potential. So
Yes.
that's what we are going for. And right now we see that there are many migrants leaving Odisha and going to various other states.
Hmm.
And why do they have to go so far? That's my
Yeah.
question. Why? So why don't, anyway, let me stop talking. Let me listen to you in response.
Yeah, so I think, sir, in response to why do they go so far, I would give my example. Like, I studied till undergrads in Bhubaneswar, but when the time for masters came, I went abroad, like abroad as into Pune. The only reason that motivated me to do so was my choice of subjects that I wanted to study. It's not like economics is not available there; it's there, but the syllabus, the subject was the same old thing that we were studying maybe a 10-year-old back or a 12-year-old back. This is about education. When it comes to jobs, the lifestyle or the kinds of jobs that were available there probably doesn't match the kind of things that students or youth of today want, or who settle abroad, like probably a Mumbai or a Bangalore city, because they want to more and more growth in their careers is what I believe. And kind of it gets restricted because the domains are less. Recently there has been a boom in IT sector in Bhubaneswar, like since the past 1 year or 1.5 years. But apart from IT, what I feel, other sectors are still slowly growing. So if you ask me today if I would want to move back, definitely. I love the place. I have my family and everyone is there. But then I start thinking about the leap I took when I came to Pune and then I started working here. Will I get the same amount of exposure, same amount of teammates, or same quality of things that I do here? So I think these were the few doubts that were there in my head when I started moving outside of Odisha. And I feel a lot of youth thinks the similar way because of lack of job opportunities that is available in that particular sectors that they want to work.
Yeah, I don't want to create high-tech jobs. I want a national market. I want a
Yes.
national labor market. I don't want
Hmm.
to say don't go to Bangalore. Go.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is have a choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Exactly. Right now
especially
we don't have a choice.
if you are village, you blue collar
Yeah.
worker with very
Hmm.
little education, you are not
Yeah.
going to Bangalore to get a high-tech job. You're going to go
Yeah.
there to live in a slum. I'm saying,
Yeah.
why can't you live in Raigada and have a decent house instead of living in a slum? Uh, uh,
Hmm. Hmm.
but if you want to go, it's fine. I'm not against movement of labor. I want a national labor market. Okay, that's not a problem for me. But people should have a choice. That's my issue.
Yes. Yes.
People
Absolutely.
should have a
Yeah.
choice. If you want to go, go. I mean, I don't live in India, so what?
Hmm.
I've not lived in India, and I'm saying I'll not live in India. But so what? Point is not
Yeah.
that you should have a choice. You should
Yeah.
and you should have a state labor market. You should have a national labor market and an international labor market. Qualified
Hmm. Hmm.
Indians should be free to go where they want to go, but
Yeah.
they need options.
Correct. Hmm.
I'm not saying there's a policy, and this Karnataka government policy of saying, "Oh,
Yes.
give the jobs to Karnataka." This is the exact opposite of what we need.
Yeah.
It's the
Yes.
craziest thing I've ever heard. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, going to a tree that's giving you fruit and cutting off the branch that gives you the fruit.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what is it? But so I
Yeah.
want people to,
Exactly.
but I
Yeah,
want
exactly why we need young people, sir, to be working in policies so that such policies can be rectified.
so anyway, that's what I am saying. That let's have
Yeah.
so good. I think that's it from my side. I usually say these things offline, but I thought with your enthusiasm, I can share it now. Anything else you want to add here?
No, sir, I would like to end by saying thank you once again. And I'm so happy that you could resonate with my energy and enthusiasm, even you're miles apart. I think that's what we are working towards together, like technology helping us all come together and discussing such important issues. So, had a lovely time talking to you, sir. Looking
Okay.
forward to connect with you and
All right,
definitely
keep in
working with
touch
you.
and send me a message in mid-September to see where we
Sure,
are in the three states. Okay.
definitely. Yeah.
All right. So
Thank you.
thank you,
Looking
Farah.
forward.
It's great to
Yeah.
be with you. Okay. Bye bye. Let's end the recording here. Good
Bye.
night, everybody.